What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Um, it's kind of spurred a moment when I came home to do this, but and Kevin Samuels got a classic going on right now. So if you catch the restream, cool. If you like Kevin's, cool. If you come, that's cool. But that's a classic right now. Um, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine today while I was at work, talking about life. She's been a friend of mine since I was 13, so we've been friends since for 27 years. And and what wound up happening was the topic of quote unquote colorism came up, right? And we have some things we agree on, and I just thought about it like I was telling her we don't view colorism the same as women do, but I know about it. What's happening, Vernon? What's happening, Young Girk? What's up? We don't view it the same. We don't see it the same. And I was giving her reasons why, and she was telling me some things from a female point of view that kind of it caught me by surprise because I don't think about things from a female point of view. I'm not a woman. So the first thing was I told her, men, there are men who are color struck. There are men who are definitely color struck, right? And the thing about that is they'll say they like a certain color girl. I like a yellow bone. I like a red bone. Darnell, what's happening? My bad. They'll say that they like that. And I said, to women, when women hear that, it's obviously he color struck. What's going on, Devin? I said, but with us guys, we kind of look at some guys like, oh yeah, he definitely color struck. And the other guys is like, dog, all your girlfriends don't match this color struck ideal girl that you're looking for. So what are you talking about right now? Which became part of the issue, right? Is because we were talking. I'm like, some of these guys are not third wall. What's happening? Dog Force, what's going on? Big Poke Dog, what's up? Like some of these people don't realize that some of these guys aren't necessarily just what's up, George? Some of these guys are quote unquote color struck for, and people say, oh, they want to be with women close to white. And I'm like, nah, because those guys who are color struck and want a quote unquote red bone or yellow bone, a lot of those guys don't want a white chick. Aunt James, what's happening? I'm about to say Aunt Banks. I've been listening to too much rap. But a lot of those guys don't want a white chick. They might take a Latin chick, but not a white chick. Because the guys who say, I want white chicks, they are very adamant about that. Look, I don't want to deal with black chicks. I want white chicks. Like they say that up front. They don't say they want a particular color black chick. But player made partner, what's happening? But what wound up coming into the conversation was, these guys are doing these things, and the women are kind of are feeling some type of way about it. And because they're feeling some type of way about it, that's who you're dealing with. Brandon Woman, what's going on? They feeling some type of way about it. And I was like, I see why. For me, talking to my friend, I was telling, I said, truth be told, my bad. Ron, I was like, black men have a thing, being color struck is not our first thing. It's not the first thing we think is look at is a chick's color and say, I'm gonna rock with her. The first thing we look at is her body. If she got a banging body, if she banging body and pretty, she got the body type we like, we going right there for that. Third wall, what's happening? I'm gonna get to that third wall. Trust me, I'm gonna get to that one too. Well, what's happening? So we in these situations where you got men saying what they quote unquote preference is, right? And it's become a problem. And I was telling her, I said, one of the things about that is with the men, once we get the body type we like I said, color aside, that's why when guys say, oh, I like a yellow bone, I like a red bone, and we looking at them like, dog, the last 3 girls you with are not yellow bones or they're not red bones. You get what I'm saying? They just not. Taz, what's happening? James gang my ass. Little troll. Jordan all the way. The way. You know what? And then AI. LeBron after that. Kobe, definitely greater than LeBron. Definitely. You gonna get me off topic. You jerk. Tony, what's going on? Miss Anonymous, what's up? So my female friend, she talking to me about it. And she was like, these guys are telling these women what they like, and it becomes a problem. And then she said it so simply that this is the next part of the issue. She said, yeah, black men talk too much. And I was like, huh? She said, no, I'm dead serious. Like, y'all talk too much. What it is if you like a chick, Garcelle, if you like a chick, if you dating a woman, you don't just, you dating a dark-skinned chick and you say something like, oh man, I like red bones. Shut up. Why are you talking to this girl and then you telling her you like something that don't look like her? Why are you talking to this girl and you telling her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I normally talk to this type of chick. You pretty for a dark-skinned chick. And I know this for a fact. Nefertiti was happening. And I know this for a fact because I was laughing. Ron, what's happening? Because what winds up happening was my mother's dark skin, right? And my mother used to tell me about the stories about being pretty for a dark skin chick. She got that from the men and the women. It started with the women and it got to the men. Some of my exes say the same thing. If I tell them they're pretty, sometimes they give me that. Are you trying to say pretty for being a dark skin chick? Oh, I'm gonna get to that too, Jay. Don't worry. All this stuff is gonna coincide. So what winds up happening is she's like, these brothers talk too much. They out here telling girls that they don't. They talking to them. They dating them. They trying to have sex with them, but at the same time, they telling them that they don't like girls their complexion. And I'm like, that's a problem. That's a definite problem. Because now what you're doing is, and I gotta speed this up to a degree because I got some things to do tonight. So this ain't probably gonna be an hour or whatever. But I see you. Verna, what's happening? So the thing about it was, I said, you know what the problem is with that? These guys are talking too much, but that's a dating tactic. And she's like, what you talking about? I said, that's a dating tactic. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. You got guys who got bad intentions for women in general. So what they do is, if they figure you insecure about something, they're gonna pick at your insecurity, because guess what you're gonna wind up doing? You're gonna try to prove him wrong. See, I got girlfriends that's dark who, what's gonna wind up happening is, Water Sniper, what's happening? Yeah, man, they do. Because I got enough exes that's been told that. You know what I'm saying? And so it causes a problem. So what wound up happening was, I was like, I'm gonna tell you what they doing. He don't like you, but what he gonna do is, I don't normally date dark skin chicks, and you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna stupidly, Emmanuel, what's happening? You're gonna stupidly, I'm gonna prove him wrong. I'm gonna show him who I am. I'm gonna whip it on him, and guess what? Now he got you in bed. See, it's the same thing that happens when guys say, when girls are insecure and they got them weaves and different color, long hair, we know you're insecure. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick at your insecurity, and then you're gonna try to prove to me that you're better. You're better than the image that you put off of yourself, and now you're gonna come with me. You feel like you pretty. You ain't all that. I ain't all that. I'm gonna show him it's a dating tactic. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you hear that? Cool. You know what I'm saying? Pretty gangster, what's happening? Darian, my bad. I ain't say what's up. So I'm telling her, I said, this is what these guys are doing. And those type of dudes, normally, they don't have much together anyways. So, but the thing about it is, with women in general, and in this culture, because we was actually talking about dating, because she's been married for like 16 years and I've been single, and And that's what I was telling her. Like, that's the funny part about dating is when you're dealing with women, the opposite works. Like, if I'm nice to you, you be like, he too nice. But if I'm not nice to you, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna be very interested. So guess what? From my perspective, these guys are saying this because she's fine and she's dark. So he's like, she gonna be insecure because she's dark. So all I gotta do is play on that insecurity, and I'm gonna be right in there. She ain't gonna know the wiser. She don't even see herself as pretty as she is. So guess what? If I tell her that she ain't that pretty, or she ain't that fine, or she all that, or she cool for a dark-skinned chick, you know what's gonna wind up happening? She might be offended, she might be hurt, but she'll still come home with me. She'll still date me. She'll still try to prove me wrong for the sanctity of the dark-skinned girls. You know what I'm saying? But they're nuts. Well, you off the chain. So this is part of the tactic. And the women don't necessarily get the tactic. And then she was telling me, she said, the thing about that is that may be the action, but as a woman, we hear what you say. So now you guys are saying that you don't, you know what I'm saying, you like red bones and yellow bones. And guess what's happening? Since you said that, now that girl she's insecure. You know, when a guy says something like, you know, you pretty for a dark-skinned chick, right? It makes her insecure. She don't realize that he's just doing it. He's doing it to play on her low self-esteem so he can get her in bed quicker. No different from when you used to see the girls with blue contact lenses and green contact lenses. You knew that wasn't their eyes. You're like, oh, she want to be white. Okay, she don't like being on her, not like her self-hate. And guess what? I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. It's easy. You know, like taking candy from a baby. Be kind, man. You know, so this becomes part of the issues that's going on, you know, from my perspective. Now, the other thing, I was like, well, another thing that's an issue with this is presentation. Because I made a video some years ago saying why light-skinned girls look better. Now, by the title, people just, you know, it got the most dislikes ever on my videos, right? But it was something that I saw by happenstance. I said it in the video. It's not what you think. I was trying to troll a friend of mine on a dating site, and I just stumbled upon some things, and then I went to Facebook. Then I went to, like, I think Instagram or something, and I started just looking, and I looked at models and pictures, and I started to realize something about dark-skinned women. Dark-skinned chicks don't smile as much in their pictures. They are dark-skinned chicks on an average have this stoic face or a scowl or a frown. And even when you talk to professional pictures, what's happening, Faith? Even when I look at women with professional pictures and models and whatnot, a lot of those women weren't smiling. They had a frown or a scowl. So I'm like, even professional photographers are taking pictures of black women in that kind, like Cooley says, a mugshot type of picture. So I was like, you know, part of the thing about colorism, when guys say I like women who are lighter, they're accustomed to them mugshot pictures. You know what I'm saying? And look, here you go, Tad. You know, they're accustomed to the mugshot pictures. And I was joking because I started looking on, you know, I'm looking and I'm like, because I just happened to look from site to site to site. And I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. To the point where if you see guys now who try to justify liking a lighter chick, look at the pictures that he gonna put up of a dark-skinned chick. She ain't gonna be smiling. She gonna be frowning. Or she's gonna be scowling, or it's just gonna be a stone face. It's not gonna be like an inviting picture, you know. And it's like, okay, this is the presentation is off because guys try to pay attention and say that. What is it? Oh, I don't even know how to say your name. Is it Kiefer? What's happened to you? So the presentation, I was like, the presentation is off. It's really off because at some point or another, the ladies don't see each other. And, you know, back in the day, I was clowning with other guys online. And one of my homeboys and one of my homegirls, I was like, switch dating profiles. Let me see dating profiles from a female point of view, because guys talk a lot of what they don't do, what we not doing, and then you get on you let a girl see a dating profile, you're gonna see the complete opposite. I don't know guys like that. You're gonna see a plethora of guys like that, right? So the flip side of it was, say, with the women too. Yeah, I ain't tripping on purposes either, Rainy. But what wound up happening was, when I flipped it and I could show them, this is how a lot of sisters look, and look at them by the color group. You'll see that it's less and less. The lighter they were, the more probability of having funner pictures that look more fun loving, more quote unquote feminine, more soft, just more enjoyable in life. The darker they was, it was just more stone face. And I'm like, yo, that's a problem. Because the way I'm looking on this screen right now is how it is what it was. And and I was telling them, with black women is different, because the resting bitch face used to be a word. And I used to tell somebody, that's not a your resting bitch face shouldn't be your daily face. That shouldn't be that frown, that scowl, that stone face. That shouldn't be your daily. That shouldn't be what rests on your face. You should have a little bit something, a little bit more happy than that. James, what's happening? Oh, hold on for 1 second, because I'm gonna say something real quick. Faith, if you say no to Faith, third ward, she gonna keep going. Okay, that's all I gotta say. She know what I mean by that. So that became a problem. That became a big problem. Sean, what's happening? So now I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, you got this face, and it even talked about, even online, when you see dark-skinned women want to be pretty as hell, but they wind up doing that lighting filter, and they lighten themselves, and on one picture, man, thanks James Sam, man. And when they do that filter and it lightens their skin and lightens their face, it's like that becomes an issue, because that insecurity pops up. The insecurity pops up over and over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, from the perspective that I'm looking at it from, don't worry. Well, I ain't going to address the obesity problem, because I'm talking color now. Like, we're obese collectively as a group. So that ain't just the one separate color, Vernon, but I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. Now, the irony about this is, even about the presentation, that became a problem, is my friend was telling me, she said, what's weird? I ain't got a compliment from a black man ever since I got married. But you know who always trying to compliment me? White guys. White guys. White guys always compliment me. White guy. And I was like, this is part of the swirling thing. Well, white guys love me. White guys like me. White guys feeling me. Now I know white guys who they do the same thing that the black dudes do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell her she pretty. But since he's white, he can't say you pretty for a black chick or you pretty for a dark chick, because that ain't even in the equation, because that's what it is. But when a white dude comes across and says she's pretty, she's, oh, am I beautiful? I feel like a princess. Thank you, Mr. White Man. That's how it comes across to brothers like me. And the problem with that, why I say it's a catch-22, is because when a black dude is say you pretty, and he doesn't say you pretty for a dark-skinned chick, he just says you pretty, some of y'all interject in y'all own mind. What up, Ty? Some of y'all interject in y'all own mind. He means I'm pretty for a dark-skinned chick. He could just be saying pretty. What's up, Rollo? And I'm getting to that too, J-Toe, but that's the thing. Because one of the issues that come along with this is sisters don't realize how much nicer is it. Let them dig. Oh, you ain't breaking down no arguments here, Taz. You think LeBron is better than Jordan? Your mind state is all messed up. Okay? Hey, God, what's happening? So what winds up happening is, and I've seen this, because the women I date and whatnot, I've seen this numerous times over the years, that the hesitation to be around black men in the quickness to be around white men. And it's not like, and I know it's a difference because when Asian men or Hispanic men or Muslim men come into the picture, you know, I'm talking about off work. I ain't talking about at work. When they come to the picture, it's really not that same thing. And that's one thing about dark-skinned chicks that there's a catch-22 when it comes to quote-unquote swirling, because I see sisters, they won't talk to a black man in public. We could be in a public setting, won't talk to no black man like that in public. But in that same public setting, she's cozying up to the white dude. I've seen so many times where, you know, this guy pulls up, and like I remember telling a friend of mine, I said, "You like white men?" And she's like, "No, I don't," because of her job. She's like, she don't because the way white men treat her on the job. I'm like, let me ask you a question. When we go somewhere, how is it most of the time if I go somewhere and I meet you somewhere, you just wind up having a random conversation with a white dude out of nowhere? He could be parked across the parking lot. We going this way. You just happen to walk your ass all the way across the parking lot, and I see you talking to this white dude. You know, we can go to somebody's house full of black people. You don't want to talk to nobody, no black men, and these your damn friends. But if we go out in public and there's white people around, how you doing? Is your name Jim? Is your name Bill? Is your name, what is your name? Is your name Bobby? Who are you? And I'm like, yo, you know what you're doing, right? It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm like, this becomes a problem. Because a lot of times when it says the guys black men don't like me, but white men like me, a lot of times it ain't that the white guys like you, it's that you go hunting on white guys. Like I got a friend of mine, and she does the same thing with Arabs. You know, she lived overseas in for a while. So we could be having a conversation, and I've seen her do this so many times, I'd be looking at her like, you nuts. And we'd be having a conversation, and somebody Arab comes by, and she could be having a bad day. She can be acting moody. She could be, you know, having a completely different conversation. And we could be somewhere out eating tacos. And then somebody walks by from Saudi Arabia. Are you Saudi? You're Saudi? I've been in Saudi. I live in Saudi. You know Saudi people? I love Saudi people. And it's like, hey, did you just turn into a whole like Arab slave or something just now? And it's the catch-22. And 10 Spence, what's happening? And it's the same thing, you know, in the catch-22 is they only see it when if a black guy does it. If a black guy just happens to be having a conversation, you know, sitting there, I ain't talking to you, you know, I'm just chilling. Oh my God, is that Guinevere? I don't even know her name. She's walking in her khaki so sexily. Hi, Guinevere. What are you doing today? What are you reading? Is that Danielle Steele? I love Danielle Steele. Like that shit happens so much. Like they'll say, brother, you a whole sellout. It's like, baby girl, this is a problem. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, you know, part of like colorism from a black man's point of view is because I hate to say it this way, but it's true. The darker the woman, the quicker she'll do that. The darker the chick, the quicker she'll do that. Like if the lighter she is, not so much. The darker she is, like I was dating a chick from St. Kitts, dark-skinned chick, dreads or whatever. She was a manager at a 24-hour fitness. And she was like, I just don't feel pretty. She's like, she fishing for a compliment. I was like, look, man, you fine. Like, I don't see what the problem is. Like, you real fine. Like, to be perfectly honest, you know, anybody would talk to you. And I was like, because I hollered at her. Don't worry about what I did with her. That's none of your business. But somehow in the conversation, she was like, nobody likes me. I'm like, and I was like, look around. You see all these men? All these men look at you. They all approach you. And I was like, that white dude right there be looking at you. And when I said the white dude, it's like her whole eyes lit up like a white guy want me, a white man will want me. He thinks I'm cute. I'm like, yo, pipe down, partner. Pipe down. Because the black men don't want me thing becomes a problem. To the point where you know, it looks like projection sometimes where what it is you want white guys so much that you say black guys hate you because of the way sometimes you've been approached, sometimes the way you've been treated. And I get it. I can't disrespect that. I can't I can't take a dump on your experience. But now another part of that about the colorism part, there's got to be addressed as a self-hate. It's got to be addressed because, like, I got a good female friend of mine. She's from Cali, but she just one of the days me and her went out. I was meeting her girlfriends. So her and one of her girlfriends, they look and they like brown skin, and there's one chick that's dark. And what wound up happening was I'm at a table with her and her dark skinned friend, and I'm having a good old time, right? And her other two friends pull up, not realizing that that's her friend, because it's like she walked off to the bathroom or something. She was coming back. And the minute they saw her, she was dark, she had her dreads, they gave her that look like, oh, look at that ugly chick. Now, these are girls, right? Not knowing that that's her homegirl. And she was there first. And that's what I mean, the self-hate is real, because the girls dissed her because she was dark. And it was like, yo, this is a problem. Like, and to be perfectly honest, this chick must have had the most fire of fires, because she was an average looking chick, but the dude that was trying to holler at her, they knew her. So she had to have that real life fire, right? So I'm like, damn. Yeah, they was black, Jay. All the women was black. It was 4 black women. 3 of them was brown, 1 of them was dark. Now, another instance about this self-hate that I was thinking about, I went over to a friend of mine's house, because my friends get together. Like, my friends are the type of friends that, you know, holiday season or something, they gonna call, hey, we gonna have a barbecue. We gonna have a spades tournament. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have game night. We're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, right? So one of my friends hit me up, and I went over her house like the 4th of July, something like that. And 2 of her friends, she got a lot of fine friends. So of course, when she said, you throwing the putt, oh, your homegirl's gonna be there? Oh, I'm gonna be early. I'm not being on CP time. You start at 3. Oh, I'm gonna be there at 11:30. I'm gonna be there at 11:30. So what's up, Dallas Fred? What's happening? So Cassandra, what's going on? So I'm there talking to 2 of the sisters. And here's the funny part. One chick is Nigerian. The other chick is from New Orleans. They're both dark-skinned chicks, right? The chick from New Orleans like African men. The chick from Africa like American men. And dudes with gold teeth. It's a New Orleans thing. Mind your business. But I'm sitting there talking to them, and they're like, yo, you wouldn't even talk to us because we dark. You look like the kind of guy that wouldn't talk to us because we too dark. And I laughed at him. I said, look, let me tell y'all something. I'll take both of y'all down. That's what it is. Now, I don't know why y'all playing this game with me. I'm the wrong person to try that with, but I'll take both of y'all down. And when I told him that, silence, just straight up hush, right? This is a problem that I'm going to get to in the next part of the topic, but I'm going to talk about this self-hate type stuff, because this plays out in dating. Appreciate Aisha, or is it Asia? Because I got a little cousin named Asia that the name spelled like that, and I was like, your mama can't spell, but that's a whole nother world, you know. So when it comes to dating, the women that I come across, as far as the self-hate, the dark-skinned women date lighter guys when they're, I would say, in childbearing years or want to have children. I've seen them date lighter guys. So I look back at it like, okay, somewhere you were scarred because you wanted to date lighter guys. And, you know, and that's what I meant when we went through that season where the blonde hair and the gray hair and the blue hair and the red hair and the straightening of the hair, the darker the chick, and she's dark skinned with red lipstick, and I had to tell her, look, red lipstick don't look good on you, baby girl, because you're too dark. Get something a little softer than that, and you look good in it. You'll look a whole lot better. And to get sometimes cussed out or what's up, Angela? Or to get sometimes cussed out, not even cussed out, but looked at like, really? Like, yeah, really, that's not your color, baby. That's not your color. You know? And what winds up happening is that becomes a problem. And a lot of it is hey, how come I can't be just like the white girls? And then they say the white beauty standard. It's like, let me explain something to you. You ain't gonna never be white. So I don't know why you going for the white beauty standard. I'm good. So the hair thing goes a little bit further, because a lot of sisters, like the girl I was talking about, one of my homegirls, the one I was out with recently, she straightened her hair. Took a photo. She had a photo shoot, so for her photo shoot, she straightened her hair. Now that's my, like I like her. She good people. So I told her, I said, listen, man, I like your hair when it's curly. Like, you forget, you doing that photo shoot, whatever you doing it for. Don't do that. Do that. Your hair look better when it's curly, like more natural. Look, wear your joint. So when we went out, the next time we went out, what up, General? The next time we went out, of course, she had her hair curly, right? But I noticed even in those situations, I saw a lot of sisters having that issue. Like, I don't want to wear this, I don't want to wear that. You know what I'm saying? Because of this, because they taught, because I'm dark, you don't like me. Or girls will be like, oh, well, you don't like me because my hair. And I'm about to say something about this hair when it's natural that a lot of sisters ain't gonna like. But I'm gonna tell, but dark-skinned women in particular, the dark-skinned women have a habit of when y'all go natural, y'all don't take care of y'all natural hair the best. Y'all will go out in y'all natural hair any kind of way. Y'all will look like a kid that went and played in the park and didn't brush and comb his hair for 3 days and talking about because you natural and you beautiful. No, baby, I need you to comb that. I need you to put a little or something in that thing. Brush that thing out just right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Your natural hair needs to be maintained. You know what I'm saying? And that becomes a problem because you don't. And I've dated so many sisters who they don't like their natural hair, and it creates a whole bigger problem with the rest of their body. You don't like your hair, then you don't like your face, then you don't like your lips, then you think your nipples too dark, then you think you're too dark. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the sexiest things in the world is actually a dark-skinned woman. In how can I say it? When a dark-skinned woman is naked and the moonlight is shining and the silhouette is around her body, that's like one of the sexiest things on the world to me. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So this is part of the problem. Bud, what's happening? Say, Bud, what's going on? Derwin, what's happening? Yeah, you don't feel cute unless you have this, that, and the third. Now, this is about to get interesting where I'm about to go from this point on, just so y'all know. The next part that's a problem when I think about colorism from a male perspective. What's up, cool gent? Is, oh man, I'm bugging, y'all. I am so bugging right now. It is reverse colorism. I know I just made it up to a degree, like reverse racism, right? I've dealt with this myself, dealing with dark-skinned women. Dark-skinned women like to be black, and they talk about colorism, but a lot of times they don't like dating dark-skinned men. Like the darker the guy, the harder it is to date that dark woman. So if he's darker than her, he's probably going to have a harder time dating her if she's dark, because I ain't going to want to have no dark-skinned kids. That's what it comes across as. And that's why I made the contrast earlier about the white guys, because sometimes I think it's projection. Because what winds up happening is when I've been out, and dating, okay, I'm glad you like that. When I've been out in the dating world, I noticed that about sisters who are dark. Like, and don't get it twisted. I know dark-skinned sisters who are with dark-skinned men, married women, happily married. But in a single life, it's the same thing that the sisters say, that the men are color struck and they got colorism issues and they don't like you because they dark. They do the same thing to the men. And then you say, why these men uh, um, why are these men only choosing the light girl and the red girl, and why the girl don't approach me? Because truth be told, that guy has the same quote unquote colorism experience as you do. Now, sisters that say a black man is handsome, I like a handsome, dark-skinned man. Yeah, but even dark-skinned women say that, but when they meet a skinned man, they have hesitation. They have hesitation. You know, and then it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And sisters don't never get that part. Sisters be like, no, that's not true. Now, let me separate one thing from another. Black women are thinking the darker the guy is, the bigger the bigger that eggplant, the bigger that wood, right? So sexually, she'll be turned on to a guy who's quote unquote dark skin, or that fits that trope. But intimately, like to be intimate with the guy, that's going to be a big problem. So it's one thing to say, oh, I like the guy sexually, but I don't like the guy intimately because I don't want to be in love with this kind of guy. So when you see some of these guys who are into quote unquote red bones and yellow bones and whatnot, and then why brothers say it's easier is because it's easier to have an intimate conversation. It's easier to be vulnerable. It's easier to talk to a person. It's easier to get accepted by them as just a regular person without the color thing swirling around in their head. Never mind. I don't know what y'all doing. Right. I get that, Martha. So now the sisters don't get that because, like one of the things about not dating single mothers and stuff, and some reason why guys date single mothers, and if there's some fine single mothers, let me not be stupid, right? But sisters wind up getting into men who are dark skinned and being intimate with them, being able to talk to them after they had all their kids, or after they feel like they done with their kids, or they done having kids. Because you see a lot of dark skinned mothers who kids like not as dark as her. You get what I'm saying? Or if their kids are dark, they might treat the kid a certain way. And sometimes it's the dad issue, and sometimes it's the color issue. And I wind up like having to have these conversations with sisters because a lot of sisters I know, when they start wanting to have kids, the darker they are, the less they're likely to try to procreate with a guy their complexion. So that's an issue. Now, let me talk another part of this, because when I'm talking about reverse, a lot of sisters don't recognize this, and I don't even think they recognize they do this. But the same thing they talk about with being more receptive, black men wanting lighter chicks. The darker the guy, but more importantly, the more skeptical you are of that guy. Because when the guy's dark, it's that criminality aspect of, guess what? I don't trust his word. I don't trust him. He's up to something. It's that type of thing that goes on that the ladies are not really paying attention to. Now, I had to say that because one of the things sisters talk about is the media influence, how the media involved in it. And my good friend was talking to me about it. She was like, the more I see in the media of dark-skinned women or white guys, it made it cool for white guys. It made it cool for white guys to talk to black women. And as a black man, I'm like, I get what you're saying, but these white guys have always been talking to black women. It's just now it's on television. And the irony of it is, what I'm saying? Checking what's happening. CJ, what's going on? My bad. Mr. Coconut Oil. and that's the thing that goes on. So when it comes to that, Myra, I'm 40. Okay, I've had my experiences with the ladies. Okay, that's why Luther Vandross is in the background right now. I'm just saying, just keep it smooth and sexy, baby. Anyway, but when it comes to the media part of it, sisters are looking at the media like, oh, the media is promoting this, and the media is promoting us, and the media is having white men with us. And when I look at it from that perspective, it's like, okay, you ladies you're fawning over the fact that white guys are kissing you on camera. So now white guys, quote unquote, want you. Now the problem with this media influence that makes me cringe from a male point of view is, if you look at all these media depictions of these black women with these white men, it's a dude that's unavailable. The vast majority of the media depictions with black women and white men is a guy who's unavailable. He's married. He's in a relationship. He don't want to be seen in public per se. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. He's always off doing something, or he's cheating on a girl. Like, it's that thing. And for the sisters, they skip over that part. And it's like, this is what we're talking about right now. You know, it's struggle love. It ain't just scandal. It ain't just scandal, but I get what you're saying, Emmanuel. You know what I'm saying? It's what is the Tyler Perry movie? It was the same thing. The movie, the How to Get Away with Murder. From what I saw, she was unavailable and they were unavailable, but it was always a hookup situation type of thing. Because I used to watch television, and when I would tell my aunt to have me watching shows, and I'd be like, all these white guys with these black women, or these black women gonna be with these white guys. And she was like, no, it's not. And then the years go by, like Temptations. Yeah, okay, like that type of thing. It comes to the point where you see me in the media, and it becomes a problem. Is that on Netflix? I got Netflix. Yeah, I watch some of those things too. What is that? What was the movie when with Liam Neeson, and I forgot the sister's name, with the bank robbers, when all the women went out to try to be the bank robbing crew, and all the black women I knew went there, and the dark-skinned women in particular were so mad when they saw that movie and they realized that what Liam Neeson sent his black wife out on a dummy mission, and he was with a white chick. It's like, this is how, see, I hate it. No, it ain't set it off. It ain't set it off. It was this movie came out maybe 2 years ago. And sisters was like, oh, this is going to be a great movie. As a matter of fact, what is that? Yeah, that movie flopped. You know what I'm talking about. Widows, thank you. And the same thing is happening right now when you see the movie with Issa Rae that's at the movie theaters in the previews. All that is Queen and Slim, an interracial version, but not supposed to be funny. And, you know, now she's trying to figure it out for this guy. And it's like, this is what people are talking about. Like, when it comes to the media influence, you're a different, like as I brought up earlier, you're a different woman with a different race of man. All of a sudden, if the guy's incompetent, it doesn't matter. If the guy's married, it doesn't matter. If the guy, you know, if the guy's funny style, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna say this about the media promotion thing. It also, sisters don't realize this. And like I said, my friend in L.A., she said something to me about that in color that still blows my mind to this day. She was like, if the darker a guy is, the more of the masculine mold he has to be. The lighter a guy is, the less he has to be that. And she was like, I said, so, you know, you date white guys? She said, yeah. I date the guys that have the fingernail polish and paint on and all. I was like, so you date white guys wearing fingernail polish, and them gothic guys that have their hair crazy ways and the black fingernails on, all that other. She's like, yeah, I do all that. And I said, listen, here's my question. Would you date a man like me with that? She's like, hell no. And I was like, listen, why would you date a white guy with fingernail polish on and But you wouldn't date a black guy with fingernail polish on. I'm not into fingernail polish, nothing like that. But I'm just saying, the lighter the guy to the whiter the guy, the less of a man he had to be. And because to a degree, she was like, they're just in the media, they look at them as men. And I think a lot of times sisters get caught up in that idea that because I see stuff on TV, it's real. It's more manly because I want to be seen on TV in a loving relationship or being loved by somebody. That's what I want. It's that fantasy. It's that grocery store Fabio fantasy. You want some French dude with long hair and a six-pack to grab you and whisk you away like a romance novel type of thing, right? Oh, I got to put that up, fam. I'm sorry. Okay, too. I got to put that up. That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about because of media promotion. No. No, Faith. From as a man, I see it all the time. Like, yeah, I did, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you what I see all the time, Faith. How often do you see black men change their natural voice, change their natural demeanor for a white woman? Like, here's like if I'm think about his face, like I'm looking at you. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna give you a little flirt. You're looking cute. I still like the other picture with the tie-ties out, but that's just my business. But the thing about it is, I've seen so many women switch on a dime, and the brothers I know switch on a dime. See, the brothers I know seen women switch on a dime to the point, even especially in jobs in corporate America. I have other black female friends and coworkers who watch black women switch on a dime and say, look, you need to stop doing this when these white guys show up. And they be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you, and this is a true story. This actually happened while I was at work, what I'm saying, and a white guy from a district came by. I don't know what you talking about. I don't want to be switching that for no. Hey, how you doing? Yes, I'm gonna meet you in the office. We're gonna talk about everything. It's so nice. I'm so glad to see you. And then the guy walked away, and then she's like, I don't know what you talk about, girl. What your problem is? And she said, you just did it. You just did it. So, you got to think about it. Like what the guys are saying is the switch up game is real. And it's disrespectful because it shows lack of respect for us, lack of respect for self, and more respect for somebody else. DeWanda, what's happening? And because like I was trying to say, if I reverse it, you see this is what I don't like. Like, I'm a black man, as you can see, and I've said this before. If I'm talking to you, Faith, and I'm like, what's happening, baby? No, I'm talking in slang. I'm talking all extra hood or whatever, extra stereotypically black. And then a Hispanic girl comes up and hola, mami. ¿Qué pasa, mujer? ¿Qué pasa, mujer? Oh, mira. Oh, ay, mi corazón, mami. Now, all of a sudden, I'm motherfucking Ricky Ricardo in this bitch. But I was black a minute ago, but now a white chick come by. Hi, how are you doing, Samantha? Hi, yeah. I was wondering if you would like to go get some stovetop stuffing with me somewhere. Yeah, stovetop stuff. I think you would like it, and some pot pies. Maybe we can go to get, I don't know, maybe a rare steak or something. That right there is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Elder Bars, you got to say. No, Faith ain't being disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? She's not. Because if you knew the area of the country she was living in, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the same thing, you meet an Asian girl, now all of a sudden you can't speak Mandarin or Japanese, but now you with the fucking Wu-Tang Clan now. You know what I'm saying? So now I don't speak much Spanish, I can understand it. So this is one of the issues that guys see, and which goes into the next point I was trying to make, is projection, right? A lot of this stuff with colorism is projection, and this is an issue Because what winds up happening is some sisters don't realize this, but all the issues that have been internalized with y'all, because women are different from men. The things that y'all internalize, y'all projected onto us as guys without understanding that that's not us. And what I mean by that is, like the story I told earlier about seeing the guy, he don't like black women. He don't like dark-skinned black women. Oh, he ain't into me. You know, you go out with your girlfriends and it's one of those situations where he ain't gonna approach me because I'm the darkest one here. Demetrius, man, thanks. You know, George, what's up? Thank you, fam. You know, he's speaking. You ain't nothing for that. But now you're not gonna speak to this guy, or you think this guy won't talk to you because you dark, or the projection is you like white chicks, when in actuality you like white dudes because we see the switch up in front of us. Like, true story, I gave this girl hell. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was playing, and I didn't really do it on purpose at first, but I realized I gave this woman hell at a bar because she was a beautiful dark-skinned woman. And she was supposed to be in a relationship. She was living with a guy was living with her. Black dude was living with her. So problem right there. So we at the bar, chatting, chilling it up, kicking it. And this white guy walks in, fresh off of work, in his work uniform. Not a big deal. He pulls up to the bar, sits right next to her. Not a big deal. She's flirting with this guy because she knows this guy. I don't know if they work at the same place and she just works inside and he works out or whatever. But come to find out in the middle of the conversation, this white guy still lives with his parents. But she just want this white guy. And I'm looking at this chick like, so you saying because we had chatted a little bit, and she was like, you know, the guys that she knew was sorry. You know, I'm tired of these sorry ass niggas and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at her like, the dude that you flirting with, who just got off work to meet you, is still living with his parents, but he's white and that's okay. So I was like, I gave her the business at the bar. I gave her the business. I was joking about other stuff, but I was giving her the business. But I was giving her the business about something else. And I'm gonna tell a whole story because she was dating a black guy previous that was a cop, and he liked golden showers. So I was calling the girl R. Kelly because she did it to the guy. And I'm like, look, R. Kelly, you need to stop messing with these weirdos. So that's the other part of the story, right? You know, but the projection became a problem. And the reason why the projection is a problem, because when you keep pointing to what we are as black men, you're not taking into consideration what you're doing and what you like. You're not. You know, you're not. And I gotta take it there when I say this. The projection hurts because when a brother takes out a sister who's dark skinned, because she thinks he doesn't like dark skinned women, even if he takes her out, even if he's the one taking her out on a date and asking her out on a date, she's gonna act a certain way, like she doesn't want to be with him, not because she thinks he doesn't want to be with her, even though he's taking her out, which becomes a problem. And sometimes sisters are over sexualized because they're trying to get attention, because they feel like I can't compete because of my skin color. It's like, no, you compete just fine, baby girl. It's just you're not looking at us the same way. Like if I tell you you're beautiful, it doesn't mean much because I'm the same complexion as you. I can't validate your beauty because they told you were ugly because of your color. So if I tell you you're beautiful, you're going to say I'm ugly. So you need somebody lighter to do that. And until they do it, it ain't real. Which, the bad part of that, which leads me to the last part. All of this stems back to upbringing. You know what I'm saying? And the upbringing is this. Too many grown dark-skinned women, I've heard the story, not just of them being molested, right? Not that, or being touched. The story of their own family telling them that they're ugly. Because women remember ugly comments for eternity. They've told me the stories about, being too black and don't bring a guy your color home, get somebody lighter. And, the hair at an early age. When the girls would be like, I want my hair just like yours, mommy. And now all of a sudden, it's a problem because mama's grown and she has a certain amount of hair, a certain style of hair. Little daughter don't. So now she feels like I'm not pretty. And then mama has to either let me go natural to show my baby she's beautiful, or let me perm her hair or put a weave in her hair, to make her feel beautiful. And it's upbringing, this comes with the issue. Because now you see these grown women who they don't feel pretty unless they perm their hair, unless they got a weave. You know what I'm saying? Unless, it's colored. And yeah. That right there. You know what I'm saying? That feeling right there, putting somebody on a pedestal. So that becomes an issue. That definitely becomes an issue. Priscilla, you you hella late, right? And I brought up a whole lot of other stuff. When you get back, if you watch the beginning and the replay, it'll cover what you just said. But the upbringing became a problem because my mother still thinks about that. Now, it doesn't bother her anymore. My mother's married and whatnot, so it doesn't bother her. But I remember even with my mother, my father and my mother, my father's darker than my mother. After my father and my mother got divorced, I never seen her with a man my complexion or up ever again. Boyfriends was light, pretty much every boyfriend I saw was a light-skinned dude. And my stepfather, he's brown, he'd be a red bone, if that to me, red bone is brown, but caramel complexion or whatever, that. And part of that goes to me comes off to me you've been told because you're black or you too dark so long, it's an issue. Hannah, you see the picture of me, girl. What you mean with complexion am I? I get darker in the summertime. I don't even be noticing though. But the upbringing thing becomes a problem because, like sister was talking about earlier, I was born in New Orleans, so this is how much I know about upbringing, and even when I was talking about projection, right? Fitness mom, how you doing? The vast majority of the United States believes if you Creole, you light skinned with green eyes, or you light skinned with good hair. That's what they believe Creole is. And people outside of Louisiana have this fantasy about, oh, I'm gonna get this nice little Louisiana Creole woman. Like Creole women look like Jasmine Guy in a different world. That's Creole. Truth be told, I'm freaking Creole. But if I tell it to somebody who's not from Louisiana, it's like, you ain't light skinned. How that is? You not like full Haitians are Creole. But that becomes the upbringing of the situation. Faith, you ain't good for that, And I know the upbringing becomes an issue because my son is lighter. My son looks like me, but he's lighter. His mother is like high yellow. Like I've known her since I've known her just about 25 years. But there was a point me and her got into it because she kept telling my son, you got white in your family. You got white in your family. You got white in your family. So I was out at a grocery store with my son, and my son's probably Will Smith actual color, right? And we was at a grocery store, and he was like 5 years old. He's like, Dad, I look good because I'm light, and you look ugly because you're dark. And I told him, I said, boy, you R. Kelly light. He's like, what does that mean? R. Kelly light. I said, you light on pictures, but when you go outside and start playing, you're just gonna be a dark, light-skinned kid. That's what you're gonna be. And he was shook. He was like, oh. And maybe I scarred that little boy, because to this day, he don't want to play football like that. I never thought about that until just now. You know, and that became a problem because of upbringing, to the point like some years later, I was on the phone, I called, and his mother was like, I just want you to hear something. I'm like, okay. My son was like, I understand, I'm black, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I've been knew that. It's not I got white in my family, all this bullshit. But the upbringing creates this colorism issue. It always exacerbates the issue because we keep separating how we treat the kids in the community by color. So now when the girls grow up, they're still looking at that. You know, I got nieces and goddaughters, and that becomes an issue. Like, they don't feel pretty because of their complexion. I'm like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing about the upbringing, dark-skinned women age better, but because of all the issues and the self-hate, a lot of times sisters don't take care of themselves as well. They'll smoke and drink themselves out of beautiful skin. They'll smoke, drink themselves, or do drugs out of their face. You know what I'm saying? This upbringing issue, they'll do their hair, they put so much weave in that they don't have no more hair no more. Like, that's a hard, like, the darker the sister is, a lot of times the dark-skinned sisters, I think their alopecia is more real with them because of the hair talk. You know, they're ashamed to take their wig off. You know, the bonnets and shit. The darker the chicks are, I was like, come on, take that off. I don't want to see you in that all the time. And for me, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? But from a male point of view, this is my idea. This is what I'm saying. Now, I thank y'all for rocking with me for this long. I didn't expect to go an hour. I got to do some other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here. And I hope I was able to communicate this message in the best way. So peace, y'all.